Welcome to the Aki Culture Club. What's up, everyone? I'm your co-founder, Damien.
I am Nick.
Nick, are you ready to kick off the 37th club meeting?
Let this club meeting commence, Damien.
37. Damn. I won't even say we're about almost halfway through this season. I think we saw episode 6. The detective is already dead.
Yeah, we did.
Crimson Devil and Ice Queen, man. Okay. So 6 episodes out of 12. What did you think, man?
Listen, I'm glad you started with this one because I'm done. I'm over it.
Yeah. All right.
I'm just like I wrote it down. Like I'm literally trying to fast forward the show just so I can get to the next one.
Yep.
It's just not good.
It's not good. I actually like completely agree. Like I have my notes as well, and I'm just like, oh, I guess this woman with the red eyes and red hair is the Crimson Devil, and Siesta's the Ice Queen, and like, there is no depth here.
No, there's none.
Like I'm assuming that this Crimson Devil, this woman, Hell or whatever his name is, which is like a terrible name to begin. Oh, it's Hell. Oh, okay, she's evil. Oh, all right. It's like, dude, like, can you spell it out any easier for us at this point? Like, okay, so she's the antagonist. Cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like we get to see a book that she's attached to. She has a sidekick as well that she can call like a chameleon power. I don't know why I'm going on to this because it wasn't that good.
No, it wasn't. Dude, if when he asked where'd you get that mech suit, if she would have said that it was one of the legendary detective tools, I would have stopped right there. I'm like, all right, show's over.
No, but somehow she was able to procure it through her vast network of detectiveness. It just doesn't feel. It feels so surface level and just not good.
Yeah, I'm not connected to these characters at all.
Neither am I. And even after the second half of this episode, so the first half, I was like, okay, this is just stupid. Like this is just like bland and there's nothing to it. 6 episodes later, we're in a flashback still this entire episode. Like we're not even with the fact that she's dead and this new girl has her heart, but like what was the second half of this episode? They find some random little girl that's 17 years old but looks like she's 10.
Yep.
Like it was just weird. Like it made a bad show even worse.
That is what I wrote down. That I just keep wanting to fast forward this. Like I don't care who this girl is. Why I just don't care.
Exactly. I felt exact same way. My note literally is the last thing I wrote was the second half started so weird. I can see this being a drop. And I was saying, like, in my head coming into this, I was like, if Nick wants to drop it, which after seeing that second half, I was like, I know he's going to want to. This is going to be the first Aki Culture Club mid-season drop.
We need a sound effect, like a or something. Just nix it.
We need something dramatic. Just give it, just thumbs down, bro. Like,
there's only so much time, and I don't want to waste it watching a show that's just bleh.
Truly, I really agree with you. It's just not good.
Yeah, because we're watching other shows that were 6 episodes in, and I care about the characters. I want to know what's going on.
Same.
Yeah. So,
and they're not even that in like the other show that we're not like, not to jump right into Moonlit because I think we still need to say what we're doing with Detective, but it's not even that serious of a show, and I care about it so much more.
Yep.
But I guess so. With Detective is already dead, it's this Aki Culture Club's first drop because I'm thinking that it's gonna be.
I think it is. It had a lot of promise, but didn't come through with it.
All right, that's it. Detective is already dead is already gone. It's dead. Give it the drop. I'm not sad about that whatsoever. All the light novel readers were hyping it up so much and like it was going to be great. In the first 40 minutes, I felt like there was a lot of promise. But even episode 2 and 3, we were like, episode 4 was kind of there. We were like, okay, maybe there's something here. And then like, we're like, okay, because I editing our episodes, we were talking about episode 4 and we're like, man, if we watched episode 2 and 3, we would have dropped it after 3, but 4 kind of saved it. And now it's just like, okay, I don't really think there's any like saving going on here.
Yep. We gave it the 3 episode, the old 3-episode try. We even gave it 3 more, and it's fine. Just no more. It's dead.
Yeah, it's gone. We're done with it. Peace out. Detective is already dead.
That feels good.
Yeah,
it feels good to drop the baggage.
It does. It really does, actually. Now, a show that's not baggage whatsoever.
Mm-mm.
We can just jump right into Moonlit Fantasy.
Okay. Yes, another one. There were 6 episodes in, but like, and there's how many more characters in this show, and I care about them. That we had 3 characters, and the detective is already dead, and I don't even remember their names to be honest. But this one, I think you're right that it's a harem. Well, there is another dude, but
yeah,
it just seems that more and more women are joining his crew, which is fine. But yeah, this show, like the characters are just so entertaining, and like they get into wacky situations and they always get out of them, and it's funny, and it's just better.
I totally agree. I'll start off by saying I think that like the recap that they did was really great. It was 90 seconds long. We didn't need a whole episode recap. They just gave it in the beginning, before the intro, for the opening, 90 seconds, boom. And we're like, oh, that's awesome. That was a really great fast recap. They still kept a little bit of the charm that goes along with the show. And it was a good refresher. But yeah, the way that they're getting in and out of these situations are just so funny. Like when he went to the dwarves and he was like, I'm gonna put this, I want that jacket. And the dwarves like, oh, that'll totally drain you of all your magic and you will die. And then like he just turns his head and he's like wearing the actual jacket, and you're like, oh my God. Like he does not care.
Yeah, now that dwarf's whole goal is to make something that will kill him.
Yeah. And that's hilarious. Like that's gonna be a like joke throughout the rest of the show, I think.
Absolutely. It'll definitely be a callback.
And yeah, they're gonna be calling back to him, like wanting to kill him so badly throughout this, and it's never gonna work. That's gonna be the funniest part. Maybe until like the very end of the show, like maybe it takes like whatever who the main antagonist, maybe it's the goddess or whatever. He needs to defeat them. He wears whatever the dwarf makes him and ends up killing him, but he ends up saving the day.
Yeah, and I guess criticism is there really is we don't know the point of the show yet. Like he's just following his parents' path. There's no like grand scheme plot yet. I mean, it's only been 6 episodes, but it's entertaining throughout. It doesn't matter. Don't really, it doesn't need a grand scheme plot at this point. And there's still a lot of mystery to it because like both Tomo and what's the other one? The spider girl. What's her name?
Mio.
I'll say Maui. Different universe.
Totally different universe.
Like they're both so strong, and we don't know what all they can do yet. They haven't faced a foe that actually made them, struggle at all, which adds mystery to their characters. And then our main character is also like he's stronger than them, but he hasn't had to use it yet. So it's like I'm just waiting for that to come, and it's adding suspense.
Totally, yeah. It is pretty suspenseful in that regard that we don't know what the story is yet. It's just kind of like funny and figuring things out. And he's only level 1. He's rank E level 1, which is like bottom of the barrel, like totally like not good whatsoever, but yet he can really use like his powers.
Yeah, he's stronger than everyone that they come across, but they talk shit because he's level 1. They just don't know.
Do you think Tomo is she's off on her like nightly errand right now?
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to get stronger. Do you think she's going to come back stronger than Mio? What do you think is going to happen with her?
I think so, but I feel like this is going to be like they can't get in contact with her, which maybe something's actually wrong, which would be kind of cool that they have to go find her and save her or whatever, which would add a cool dynamic because there's this power struggle between Mio and Tomo. And if Mio has to save Tomo, it's just like, that just adds a whole nother dynamic where Mio can forever say that she's stronger, and it's great.
No, I can totally see something like that happen. Even worse is like her coming back from this arduous journey, and Mio is just like does something like super simple and ends up being stronger than her, like through like maybe she does like push-ups or whatever. It's like something so benign, but yet she's stronger than Tomo, and she's like still super super angry. I think that would be funny too.
I think it would, and I think it's very plausible that happens with the way this is going.
Yeah, this show just takes it and just makes everything out to be a joke or super funny. I was watching a TikTok like I usually do, and I've been noticing that the shows that we're liking are actually there are actually better versions, and I put better in air quotes. Like Konosuba apparently is just
Mhm.
like this show. It's an isekai where where MC is very self-aware. He's just dealing with goddesses.
Hmm.
And
Heard of
Konosuba
it.
is very, yeah, I've heard of it too. I haven't really watched it, but I would definitely give it a chance if this is like that, and that's like kind of like, I don't know. There's debate on this show was Moonlight Fantasy was written first, and then Konosuba was written, but then Konosuba got the anime adaptation like 5 years ago. So I don't know.
Hmm.
I would like to watch it if it's like Moonlit Fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, if when Moonlit Fantasy ends or this season ends, and we want more, add it to the docket. Add
Yeah,
Konosuba.
add that. Yeah, that would be funny. That would be
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, it's a nice refresher.
It really is. It is. And I think Konosuba is going to get a second season. I saw that they did like a release for that in like the next year or so. So if
Mhm.
we ever want to add that second season of Konosuba to our like seasonal lineup, we have to watch the first season anyway.
We should.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's Moonlit Fantasy, I guess, right?
Yeah, some good jokes throughout it. It was um just a funny episode.
Yeah, totally. Now, My Hero Academia, uh kind of sad, but like not that sad because it's a skip week again. And I
Mhm.
didn't think this was gonna I didn't realize that this was gonna happen.
Do you know why they're doing it again?
They released the third movie in theaters
Oh
this
yeah,
weekend. And it
yeah.
to like a lot of critical acclaim, it made a lot of money. Yeah,
Believe that.
it was a box office hit in Japan. So that means like a the pulse on My Hero in Japan is still really strong. So that means we're still going to see like high quality, really great. The manga is going to continue going strong, and the anime because it's making money.
Mhm.
And that means we're also going to see the movie in American theaters. It's just I'm predicting that we'll actually get a theater release and not just have it come straight to a streaming service like where you have to pay for it online or something like that. I think we'll be
Like
able to see it in theaters.
Yeah, I feel like we will. It's becoming more popular, like with the Demon Slayer movie. It's a bunch of movies. There was one in last week at my theater. I can't remember which one it was, though. It
Oh,
wasn't a show that we're watching. Like,
okay.
oh, look, another anime movie.
Yeah, it's becoming so much increasingly popular. I think it's awesome. Like I would love to see way more. Like I would love to see the Jujutsu Kaisen movie in theaters. I would love to see the Black Clover movie in theaters. Like it's such an experience. And you and I have gone and see anime movies. Well,
Mhm.
a combination of episodes in theaters. You know, so I think it's just I love going to the movies.
Same.
Yeah, you have a monthly pass to go to the movies. You know,
It's the best. It's the best.
so Nick and I are both so very pro movie theater here.
Yes, yes. Support your local movie theater.
Yeah, keep them in business, especially if they're like small and niche. You know.
Yes, I agreed. Agreed. And shows like Juju or My Hero, they're big. Like the fights are big, which
Mhm.
would just translate very well to the big screen.
That means more budget for a movie means better animation, which means the fights are
Exactly.
going to be better animated. And Jujutsu Kaisen had a very well animated first season.
Yes, it did.
So
Yes, it did. Dude, I was at Target yesterday and we
mhm.
were in the book section and there were two mangas next to each other.
Get out of here,
One,
Target.
yeah, one was Demon Slayer, the final volume.
Oh wow.
Spoilers on the cover,
Oh yeah, for sure.
for sure. Didn't
Yeah.
want to see that. And the one
Mm-hmm.
next to it was My Hero, which was the latest volume. Spoilers on the cover. Didn't want to see that. My
Oh
Hero, not so
man.
much. It just showed a character like that we've never seen in an outfit before, in a specific outfit. So um,
Oh
it wasn't
yeah.
so bad. But Demon Slayers was pretty bad.
The Demon Slayer cover pretty much wrote like it spoils the whole show. It
Mhm.
doesn't spoil how, but it does spoil the show. I've seen it as well.
Okay, you've seen it. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if anyone else, like anyone who stumbles upon our show watches it, but like I don't know how you can avoid it. And I also don't like, yeah, it's really feel good, but I don't know
Mhm.
how like that would be okay, you know? Is it because we're not caught up to it? But I feel like anyone who picks up that 20th volume, I guess you read it online nowadays, or it goes into like a weekly release. And then after they release a bunch of chapters, then they release the final volume.
Yeah, it's our fault for being anime only. That's what it is.
Essentially, that's pretty much where we're at. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not hating on anyone. It's our fault. Like, we should have read up to this point.
Yeah, it's our fault.
But I don't know. It's kind of a spoiler. We're excited to see how it ends, though. Like, we'll see how they get there, because I feel like there's a lot of cool things that are going to happen, because Demon Slayer is immensely popular.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So I want to talk about, so we dropped, our first show was a drop.
Mm-hmm.
Second show, thumbs up.
Yes.
Third show, it's not a drop, but I'm not happy with it.
Oh, okay.
It's Peach Boy Riverside.
Yeah, okay. PB, I know.
It's very entertaining. I'm enjoying it. I like the characters. Frau is one of my favorite characters out of the season that we have right now.
Same.
It's just confusing. It's just out of order, and it's confusing.
I think I did send you that article, right, about how it is out of order, or did you send it to me?
Someone sent it to someone.
Regardless, it came up in our chat, and yeah, we're getting the episodes like literally out of order.
Yeah, so
it's so confusing.
Yeah, that nun girl, whose spoiler is an ogre. She met Sally before, like in her flashbacks in the episode. But did we ever see her meet Sally? Like, Sally's the one who like chopped her horn off, and she kept referring to Sally in her flashbacks, but like, we've never seen that. It's out of order. It
is out of order. There are multiple things that, and the worst part about it is, and I wrote this down, I was like, a flashback in a show that's coming out episodically out of order. This is so confusing. Like, we're episodes out of order, and we're also seeing flashbacks. So, like, I don't know when the flashback is happening because the episodes are out of order.
Yes.
So, like, are they flashbacking to something that hasn't happened yet because we're going to see it in a later episode that's actually happened in the past, that should have happened already, that we should have seen?
Oh, I don't know.
That's it's such a weird. I don't know why the director did that.
I don't know, and it's a bummer because it's a good show.
It is a good show, and it has a lot of like really great potential because it's a Japanese mythology. Like, it's something that we're not familiar with, either of us. So to us, it's a brand new story.
Yep.
You know, and for like a first time exposure, it does feel weird seeing it out of order.
I don't want to drop it though.
I don't want to either. I really like Frau. I mean, it's great. Sally was even using gender neutral language for Frau.
Yeah, call Frau them and they.
Yeah, it's a they. Frau's the they them. Frau's gender neutral, which is cool. I was gonna say Frau's our queen, which they're not. Frau's our monarch.
Or whatever they are.
Frau's our gender neutral monarch.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. We've learned some things this episode. Again, that it's cool. I'm just confused. But Beach Boy is not the original Beach Boy.
Yeah.
We learned that from the cool dog who stopped him from trying to kill the ogre girl.
Yeah.
He's like, if you're gonna use that name, you can't disgrace it. So he's just pretending to be, somehow he has the power of the Beach Boy.
But he's not the OG.
Right.
But who's the dog though? Like, the dog is just some old wise sage that's like, yo, don't point that sword at me.
Guess so.
Yeah, like that dog has to have some powers. If that dog is like, yo, don't point that sword at me.
Yeah, and he backed down.
You'll get clapped, bro. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry for doing that. It's like, oh, the dude that can slice down demons without a second of thought, and they're like super high ranking, is over here bound to a dog. Okay, all right. Yeah, I see now.
Dogman is cool.
Dogman is cool. He looks like the dog from To Your Eternity, though.
He does.
There are a lot of characters in this show. In the opening, there's like, they're like standing on a hill, and there's like a demon looking dog that looks like the demons from Promised Neverland. There's a dog that looks like Joanne from To Your Eternity. Set looks like the walrus from Odd Taxi. Finally stopped driving a taxi. That's a joke from Giga. Put like a really great video out about the summarization of summer 2021 anime. It's a really great summary so far. And he made that joke. I thought that was really funny. But so if you go check it out, he's got millions of subscribers. So
Give us some. Give us like 5.
subs,
That's
please.
fine.
Just 5. Just take 5. That's all.
But I don't really have much more to say about Peach Boy because I'm confused. I don't know where it's going. Yeah, like what I want to know most is what Frau is.
Yeah.
Is she a demon? Is she like a god?
Is
I
they
keep saying
are
she.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. They.
Are they a demon? I don't know. I think they're a demon, yeah.
So too.
I think I do like Frau so much as a character.
Mm.
Don't worry, I was saying she before and a lot too, and it's hard to change. It's like, damn, I know it's they, them, not
Yeah,
she, her. They,
we
them.
must, we must be aware of pronouns.
Absolutely. Can't be out here disrespecting people like that.
Yeah. Is Frau even a people?
Well, first we thought that they were a demi-human, and now we're like, oh my god, I think they're a demon.
Yeah.
A fallen angel. I'm gonna guess fallen angel.
Yeah, and I think they've been in more than just the hair folks body
I think
throughout
you're right.
their life.
Yes, I think they were also in an ogre body too
I would think so.
at one point. Human, ogre, now hair folk. I think Frau has died many a times.
Yeah. Oh, I'm dead again.
I just keep dying. I don't know why. Yeah, of course you keep making reckless decisions if you know you're just gonna get resurrected again. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, it's like our boy into your eternity, Fushi. Can make reckless decisions because it doesn't matter. He can't die.
It don't matter. Episode 17, the defeated.
You like my segue?
I loved your segue. That was perfect.
Thank you. Thank you. Good episode. Got a lot of notes on it.
Me too. You can start.
Hayase knows how to give a good speech. It was a good speech that she
Oh,
gave
yeah.
to all the prisoners.
Oh, yeah.
Rallied around her. But then she's like, I'm not actually going to lead you. This little girl who's like 11 is going to lead you, which was weird. And just a lot of backstabbing and twists in this episode.
Yes, a lot of twists. So I guess starting with that, I don't really understand why she did that, because then she was like, oh, Tanari's going to lead you. And then turned around and was like, if you follow me, I will make sure you never have to work again and you don't have to worry about eating. I didn't understand that. Didn't she just say that Tanari is going to be the one that's leading them?
I guess. I don't know. I don't know what her motive is.
I don't know either. It's such a weird. This is like the coolest antagonist that I think I've seen in a minute.
Yeah, because she's so mysterious. Like we know who she is. We've met her before, but she's just like a screw came loose and now she's reckless.
Exactly. That's a really great point. It feels like a screw is loose on, like she is a different person. Like she is off her rocker now. Like when she got naked on top of Fushi, the first thing that came to mind was not something of sexual nature per se, but she is just lusting for power. Like she's obsessed. I think that she's obsessed with Fushi because Fushi has the ability to be immortal, to take forms, to create inanimate objects from his own body. And that's a power that she doesn't have. And if she did have that power, she would be immensely more of a force than she is right now, which she's kind of crazy of a force as we speak.
Yeah, she'd be unstoppable. And she has like loyal followers, all of her soldiers. Yeah, she's charismatic, can fight, scary, add immortal on top of that.
Yeah, and that's what she wants. Like it's just it screams lusting for power. Like she's like licking his face, getting naked on top of him, just like things are just like, dude, you are off your shit.
Yeah, my first thought was, is she gonna try to have him impregnate her? Is that her goal?
Oh man, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I was like, is she gonna rape him?
Oh my god,
what's going on here?
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she thinks it'll transfer the power to her. I don't know, but that was my first thought.
That's a really interesting. I didn't think about that either. Does seem like something a crazy person to want to do. Like they have like, oh man, if I have a baby with this person, that they, I don't even know.
I don't even know.
His
That's just
insemination will help gain power. Or the child will have power and she can control a child. I don't know, man.
either. It was just that was just where my head went, and I didn't like it.
I
I
don't.
didn't
Yeah.
like it.
It's so
Uh,
she is using. I'm assuming by putting Fushi down inside of the pit, down in the dungeon, she is going to use him as a means of production to produce food and materials for these people.
yeah, definitely.
That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like her plan kind of is leaning towards right now.
Yeah, and Fushi's so like pacifist nice. Like if it's gonna feed the people, he's probably just gonna do it willingly.
Exactly. My question is, with Tanari taking the children off the island, and now it's like anyone who's over the age of 7 is now on this island, and she kind of convinced them to like become part of her army.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that like she's going to use these people to like attack others, you think?
It kind of seems like it, like she's indoctrinating them
Exactly.
into her followers.
Yeah, I'm getting like almost cult like vibes from her at this point.
Yeah, and she's got all the pieces to be a cult leader.
Exactly, because you were putting some really great points out there. Like she can give a great speech, she's charismatic, she's very cunning, she's strong, she can fight. Like you're not really seeing many opportunities for people to like take advantage of her or
Mm-hmm.
like take her over, like you can't really fight someone who's really strong and also really charismatic.
Right,
Both politically and physically, it's just not going to work.
right,
And
right.
that's a cult vibe. That's a very much a cult vibe right there.
And what do these people have to live for? They're prisoners.
They're
They're stuck
prisoners
on
on.
this island.
They were going to die anyway, either in the tournament or through manual labor.
Yeah. Yep. That's a good point. I think you're right.
There's some weird things that are going to come out. So this was episode what 17, and there's only a few episodes left of this show. I think, which tells me like that we're going to end on she's like the main antagonist for this Jananda Island arc, which is
Mhm.
obvious at this point. But like this show's going to end on something happening within this arc. It seems like the knockers are going to come back.
Did you see the preview? Did you see
Uh,
the preview for the next episode?
yeah, all the people turn into zombies. It looks like.
Yeah.
I think that's the knockers, right?
Yeah, they said it's the knockers, but the imagery is they're zombies,
Yeah,
which is that's we haven't seen that before.
we
That's
haven't
new.
seen we haven't seen because the knockers have appeared in front of other people, like during the end of the Goo Goo arc. Like
Mm-hmm.
the knocker were right with all those groups of people partying in that house. Like they could
Mm-hmm.
have taken advantage of them then,
Mm-hmm.
but now the knockers are taking control of people now.
I don't know. It looks like it's gonna be lit this next episode.
It does seem like next episode's going to be lit.
Yeah,
And
dude.
that brings us, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry, one more point. I
Mhm.
thought he was gonna get the owl. I thought because the owl got shot, and I was like, the owl's dead. He's gonna get the owl now, and the owl wasn't dead.
The owl wasn't dead, which it kind of like feels semi like a plot hole almost because that owl got shot with an arrow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's it. That was sorry. I threw you off your train. I just wanted to point it out there. I thought it was
No,
finally gonna happen.
I don't mind at all. You're right. It did feel like him getting the owl in that moment was going to happen, especially with the fact that like he wasn't actually taken down into the dungeon at first. He like created a copy of his Fushi's body and then the nameless boy's body and then turned into the mole, which is cool. You turn into the mole. I think it would have been smarter to turn to the rock because no one would assume the rock, but that's neither here nor there. You could have chose something a little bit better, but you still made it out kind of okay. I don't know.
He still made it out. Damn, that would have been so much better. I'm sorry, Damien. Your day's coming.
I'm going to get the rock. Don't you worry. I'm still
Day,
here.
your day is coming. But I threw you off your train. You were going to segue into something else.
I don't know. I was kind of just like, I was just saying that like this show it's going to end with the Jananda Island arc. And I just think it's going to be the way that the show has gone so far, a huge banger of an ending.
I think so too.
And things are going to be very crazy based off what we're seeing for the next episode.
Yeah. I mean, if we follow the same path, everyone's going to die except for Fushi because that's
the
same pattern.
Exactly. And it seems like Tanari is going to be the one that he's going to take the power of Tanari or hear me out. He might take the power. He might take Tanari's body, but he may take the antagonist's body.
That great.
Because the antagonist can fight.
Mm-hmm.
And taking that body might actually be more beneficial. He could take both. I don't know. He's immortal. If you're immortal, you can do whatever you want, you know?
The more the merrier, really. He can take as many as he wants.
Yeah.
But
That's
he has a strong connection with it's building connection with Tanari, and the stronger the connection, the stronger the body, I guess. Like,
yeah.
I guess that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stronger the body. Yeah, that does make sense.
It's something along, they mentioned before, like the more stimulation or connection that he has with something, more likely he is to turn into it. Something along those lines.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Did you in when he was sleeping in the bed and you saw like Rianne, the old man, did you think that they were dead for a second?
Yeah, I did.
I did as well.
Because he's talked to people that were dead before, have seen them before, but he
Yeah.
was just dreaming, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was getting vibes. I'm like, oh my God, did this woman kill the booze man and Rianne too? Like, that's horrible. But it doesn't. Then we saw Tanari and I was like, okay, they're not dead.
Yeah.
They're just, chilling.
Just chilling.
Absolutely.
Just
yeah. You know who ain't chilling, Nick?
Who ain't chilling?
Mikey ain't chilling.
Mikey ain't chilling. Dude, I was like, did we go through our animes already? How could I forget?
Dude,
on
we're
Tokyo
not done.
Revengers.
Yeah. Tokyo Revengers, episode 18, Open Fire, Nick.
I want to hear what you have to say, Damien.
It kind of went the exact way that I thought it was going to go. And I want to say this about this episode as well. This episode was perfectly paced.
Mm-hmm.
Like just chef's kiss paced super well. Like they took us from the right moment of him being in the future, Takamichi being in the future, up to the cusp of the fight. And they gave us just enough of the fight to be like, oh my God, I cannot wait until next week's episode.
Masters of cliffhangers.
Masters. So good. It was just so paced so well. We got like amazing, like just like flashes of every single character the day before the fight, just like what everyone is doing and kind of like what's going on in their mind as they're preparing for this really, really kind of like big fight that's about to happen. Of course, Baji just did not want to go back to Toman. I thought that he was a plant, but he's either doing super, super well to make himself believable that he's not a plant, or he truly just hates Toman now.
I guess is as good as mine.
Exactly. And I just feel like I thought one thing about these characters, and it just seems like I was just wrong. Like, for example, like Kazutora, like, so Draken, like when he was talking to Kazutora before they fought, I was like, I had chills.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my God. Like Draken was just like, listen, we want Baji. And Kazutora's like, you ain't getting him. He came here on his free will. He's like, I don't give a shit. And dude, like, not to mention Hansen from the Ikebirko Criminal Black Members was overseeing the fight. Kazutora just punched him right in the face and then punched him in the stomach. Like, we have to remember he spent multiple years in juvie. Like, he has time behind bars that these other guys his age do not have.
Yeah, he's a seasoned veteran of the gang life.
He really is. And I think people are still Drake and himself is even like just thinking he's like the same Kazutora that he once knew, and he's not that at all.
He is not. He even looks crazy. Like his eyes.
He
eyes
does.
look crazy. He never blinks either.
He doesn't blink. He always has one eye covered. Like, there are a lot of things about Kazutora that gives me the creeps. Like, he's just a weirdo. And like there's so many different components of political like action happening in this show at one time that like there's a whole part with Kasaki as well. Like, he's playing 5D chess right now to take Toman over. Like, he knew that when Baji left, he could go into Toman, he could set up a fight. They could fight. He knows that Mikey would kill Kasaki. He could plant something into Mikey's head about like, this is your fall guy. Like, you won't go to jail, and then he was super bummed out because he probably didn't want to kill Kazutora to begin with. He kind of just like like heat of the moment, passion crime, whatever they call it. Um, and Kisaki then takes over Toman and Valhalla. The only part I didn't quite understand was the very beginning. They said the show. They said that Valhalla was put together for Mikey,
Right.
not by Mikey, for Mikey.
Right. So Kazaki has been he has been the silent leader of Valhalla, right? That's kind
Not
of what they said.
Yeah, but Mikey was kind of the one that it's for Mikey though.
Right. I think Kisaki put it together for Mikey to take, and then Kisaki wants to take over, like he wants to control Mikey, but in controlling Mikey, he's gonna be controlling Toman and Valhalla at the same time.
Got it.
That was how I don't know if I'm right. That's just the way that I understood it.
Okay. It could be that it could be like, yeah, Valhalla's put together for Mikey to like, to see his demise, like for his demise,
Mhm.
Maybe it might not be for his leadership, but for like, it's like an organization specifically created to take down Toman that Kasaki created.
Mhm.
That could also be what for Mikey also means.
Yeah, it could be. And we also found out that Baji dies.
Yeah. And Baji dies. And who's the one that killed Baji? Katsutoro?
I don't remember who it was.
I think it was
Did they tell us?
Katsutoro. Yeah, I think Katsutoro killed Baji and then Mikey killed Katsutoro.
And that is what led to the downfall of Mikey.
Yes,
That was like
because
the turning point.
because when Mikey killed Katsutoro, he wasn't gonna go in there to kill him
Mhm.
for his like a vengeance for his brother. Like that wasn't what like he killed him because Katsutoro killed Baji. And then Kisaki had a fall guy ready for Mikey. So the fall guy went to jail however long. And now Mikey's off scot free. But Mikey can't deal with the uh like the shame or
Right.
like the guilt that like yes he killed a person, number one. Number two, someone else went to jail for it, so he's not paying for his crimes.
Mhm.
There's no punishment. So he just eventually just kind of fades away,
Right.
whatever that means, fades
Whatever
away.
whatever that means. Yeah. A lot was happening in this episode. And
Yeah.
it's just the perfect build up to this fight. And like I love that it was supposed to be like a reft fight.
Yeah,
Like
like
that's a thing.
that
Uh,
was actually going to happen.
yeah. And it's no, Valhalla is here for blood.
It is another bit of information that we got super quick, but I think it expanded upon the universe quite a lot. So
Mhm.
we were introduced to three new characters, one of them being Hanson, who's overseeing the fight, and he's from the criminal black members gang, right? So that's one gang. We see Leanman, who's the big fat dude who's eating cheeseburgers. He runs and
Mhm.
like he's a super strong dude. He probably can. We're probably going to see like a frame of him like crushing somebody with his hand or whatever. And then we see the Haitian brothers or the Haitian brothers,
Yeah.
super charismatic, and they can kind of like pull together people however they want. Um, and I also got the vibe that Toman and Valhalla are both young organizations with like kids from high school, right? Middle school and high school. And there's like a whole world of gangs of adults.
Yeah, they all seemed older.
Yeah.
The
That are kind of
leaders of the
running the
sun.
show. Yeah. It's like these are like the young dudes like in gangs. And like the people who are watching them are like kind of like the ones who are actually doing a lot of nefarious activities in Tokyo.
Yeah, the real crime and gang
Yeah.
shit.
Like act like drug slinging, like murder, like, trafficking of different sorts. Like that's what these dudes are doing. And then you have like the kids over here who are fighting, but they're like kind of like they're fighting because it's like a new generation.
Mhm.
So whoever comes out of this generation of younger kids, they're going to be the ones who eventually step into the roles of doing those nefarious activities, like
Mhm.
what
Mhm.
what these dudes are doing, these older guys.
Yeah, they definitely didn't just show us to show us. Like there's a meaning, there's a reason for that. They're going to be
Yes,
players later on in the show.
they're like absolutely going to be players later on in the show. It's going to be like kind of crazy to see like how they are going to intersect themselves into the storytelling of the show. It's going to be really, really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I look to the future of the show with excitement.
Yeah, me too.
It just keeps building on itself.
And we know that, like, from what other people have told us, that it just gets crazier and bigger and like more out of control as time goes on. So like what we're seeing now, I don't want to like hype us up to be maybe disappointed in the future, because sometimes like animation studios do wreck animes, that does happen. But
It does
if
happen.
everything goes to plan, like what we're seeing now is paling in comparison to what we'll eventually see, which is cool.
I can't wait.
Me neither. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Thank you, Damien, for introducing me to a show that is fantastic.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad that we stuck through it. Like in the very beginning, it was a slow little burn, we did. It did take us a minute,
Yeah, but it just like does slow. Sometimes when it seemed like why are we seeing this? Mundane details about characters just made you grow more attached to the characters.
Oh yeah, for true. So true. Like I was like before, like during today, I was like looking up like figures for Tokyo Avengers to buy to put into my gaming room,
Who are you getting?
Draken.
Yeah, he's the coolest.
Yeah. And there was a Baji figure too. I was like, I want that. I want Draken. I don't want Crybaby Takamichi either. I want Draken. I want Mikey.
He's the coolest.
He is. He's the one that's had the most impact on me as a character throughout this entire show, because he himself, I think, has the most depth that we've seen thus far.
Yeah, we've seen his whole childhood.
Yeah. We've seen him throughout the range of emotions, and we've seen that I guess he's the most gray character out of all of them. He's not good nor bad.
Yeah.
And he's very smart, and he's very in tune to what's going on. And he tries his hardest to he's kind of like the fixer almost,
Yes. Yeah. The big brother.
Yeah, exactly. Like he went behind Mikey's back to talk to Bashi or talk to Katsutoro and be like, yo, like, let's not do this. Like, why do we have to do this? And Katsutoro's gung-ho for it, I guess.
It's going to be great.
It is.
Excited for next week.
Me too.
You know what else I'm excited for?
What are you excited for, Nick?
Damien gets fired up.
Let's do it. Okay, so Damien gets fired up. We have 2 new shows that were watched this week. I know. And there's actually more stuff that I'm going to be watching too, but I am taking it kind of slow. No, 3 new shows that I watched this week. Oh my God. One, I think you're gonna like. Okay, so some of the stuff that I watched that I have been watching is the Aquatope on White Sand. I watched episode 5. Her mom finally showed up and was like, yo, what are you doing here? Like, you didn't come home, whatever. It went through the whole episode of her trying to like not convince her mom, but like everyone in the community kind of convinced her mom that she could stay, which I thought was really heartwarming. PA Works is just doing an amazing job on animation. Like it is, I'm saying it twice in one episode, but like chef's kiss beautiful. Like it's just so just so good, and I'm just so like, it's such a heartwarming little story. I really do like it a lot. The other show that I watched was Dungeon of Black Company this week. This is the show about the isekai about capitalism, essentially. And it's taken like a weird turn. It's no longer, they're not in the dungeon, but they're now fighting in the future. They got isekai to the future now. And he's like seeing his aunt friend that he helped save in the dungeon in the past now as like a commander. And now he's like, it's really funny. They gave the workers a lot of rights because the ants were like, you unionized us and you gave us a lot of rights. And like, now nobody wants to work. And I'm like, okay, this is like capitalist propaganda, but we can move on, And eventually they're like, how do we fix this? And they were like, okay, this is what we're going to do. They're going to who are the good workers right now? And they were like, okay, these guys are the good workers. And they're like, give them all a bonus right now. Right. And tell them they got a bonus because they work hard. Create a hierarchical system amongst the people, and whoever worked the hardest get the most money, right? But don't make it so much money that they can reach your level of status. You have to artificially cap them, right? But you can't let everyone rise, even the people who do work hard. You can only have a certain amount. And it's just like, wow, oh my God, it almost feels like. And then everyone's just like using their labor as a form to try to climb up the tower, because now not everyone is like comfortable, And yeah,
it's too real for
is way too real. And he's like so good at that capitalist game. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
he do be finessing these workers to do what he needs to do, you know,
He do
gets them in
be.
line. So I think it's a funny show. So I'm still watching it. And there's a bunch of other stuff that I'm still watching, like Ari Main, um, Eat It in Deities, stuff like that. But I am watching like newer stuff too, because this is a pretty jam-packed season. So I do kind of want to see as much as I can. Um, the first of the three of the new shows is the case study of Vanitas, which is the vampire show. Remember we talked about the vampire show?
Yes, I
And we were
do.
like, this is vampires. This is dumb. Well, I saw some rumblings online and people were enjoying it. And I was like, okay, well, you know, I have FOMO. So of course I want to hop in there and see what it's like. You know, I can't just let this one pass me by. Um, so I watched a few and it's actually like pretty funny. And like it almost is like, you know how there's like booby anime?
Yes,
This
yes, I
gives
do.
me vibes that it's almost like it's this is more geared towards women. That was
Okay.
like my initial vibes. Like it's like vampires and they're shredded and like they're like the quintessential good looking guys in anime and you know
Like
they save
like
the
Twilight.
girl. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But I think it's still pretty good. Like they're just it's there's the blue vampires versus the red vampires,
Mhm.
and they're trying to like save the vampire race because they're being overtaken by like a dark spirit. So far, I think it's pretty decent. I'm gonna continue watching it, I think.
All
So
right.
yeah, Case Study Event. It's I thought it was a good first few episodes. The next one that I watched was the Netflix release of Shaman King.
Oh.
Yeah, they released it last night at midnight, August 10th.
Mhm.
That's today's August 10th. So I was like, shit, I'm definitely gonna have to watch at least one episode, you know?
Uh-huh.
Um, and it was like I didn't watch it as a kid. I think it was on VW or VW for kids.
Uh-huh.
It's a channel that Sonic and Yu-Gi-Oh used to come on, I think,
Yeah, I know.
when we were kids.
I know which one. I don't know what it's called, but I
I
know
don't
what
know
you
what it's
mean.
called either, but oh my god, I really want to know though. Like it's like VW for kids or something.
I'll Google it while you talk about the show. How's that?
Yeah, exactly. So the show started with what I thought was I had no idea because I haven't read the manga. I mean, I have like 10 volumes, so I will be reading it, but my girlfriend did read it and like the first scene she's like, "Yeah, this did not happen in the manga." Like I think this might be actually like a spoiler for later. And it turns out that it like kind of is a spoiler, which kind of sucks that they would give it to you in the very first, like before the opening. And then after the opening, they give you what is the first scene of the manga, the first few frames of the manga, which is like I don't know why they would do that. Like we didn't need that context. Like you kind of spoiled like something I thought was like would be pretty important for later in the show. But I only watched one episode. It's quirky and funny and definitely has some serious like early 2000s vibes. Like I'm talking like it really like wonky character designs of varying heights and widths. Like the facial expressions are out of control. Like it gives me kind of like One Piece vibes almost in the way that it's
Okay.
One Piece Naruto early vibes where it's like really expressive characters.
Okay. Is it good?
Um,
There's only one episode.
yeah, I only watched one episode. I enjoyed the first episode. There's 13 now, so I'm just
Mhm.
gonna watch all 13.
Okay.
And then I'll tell you then if it's good or bad. But I think from the start, like there's gonna be like 60 some episodes. So and Netflix is gonna release them in seasons because they're just gonna sit in Netflix jail. Uh so yeah, I want to watch like the next 13 over the next like probably like week or so, and then I'll let you know.
Sounds good. It was CW for kids, Damien. You were
CW
right.
for kids. Thank you. I knew it was something like CW for kids, of course. Thank you for looking that up while I spoke. I appreciate that.
Gotcha.
The next show, this is the last one is the one I think that you would personally like.
Okay.
It's called Life Lessons with Uramichi Onisan, right? So it's Life Lessons with older brother Uramichi. It's about a 31-year-old man who is a lead character in a children's show, right?
Okay.
And it is like he's on the show. He hates his life. He's super pessimistic and nihilistic. but it's like not nihilism, like, oh my God, my life. It's not like depressive nihilism, but it's like honest nihilism, like when you become adult, like this is what happens when you become an adult. But the best way that I can put it is it's an animated version of BoJack Horseman.
Oh, you got me.
Take the tone of BoJack, not like the snobbiness of being super rich and famous. Eliminate that component of BoJack. Eliminate like the famous component of BoJack, and this is like an anime version of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're selling me now.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it's as striking as BoJack Horseman is, but it is nihilistic and pessimistic in that same way of like, this is how shit is. Like, you better get over it, like, which necessarily isn't always the truth. If you have the means and the privilege, you can change your life, So,
of course.
But in this context, it is funny when he's like, the kids are like, Oni-san, why don't we do the ABCs? He's like, listen here, kids, not every time that you get a chance, you can do whatever you want. Sometimes you have to do exactly what you're told. And that's just kind of how life is. He's like, you guys ready to do the ABCs? And that's how it works. Like, he just goes monotone. He's like, why don't you do exactly what I tell you? Because it's just how life is sometimes. And sometimes you just have to get over it. And then he's like, we're back again, kids. And that's it. And now it's kind of funny. I like it.
That sounds great. I feel like I need to watch it. That sounds great.
Yeah, just give the episode 1 a shot. If you got 20 minutes, just give it just full send.
I think I might have to do that. Yeah. For people who don't know, BoJack Horseman, favorite show ever. Got Damien into it, and when he saw this, and if you just say like, "Hey, this show's kind of like BoJack," I'm probably gonna watch it.
BoJack is like a really great show. I really wish they didn't end it so soon. I wish there was a little bit more because it was so good.
It ended beautifully, though.
It did end beautifully. It ended the way that it needed to, I guess.
So those are the three new ones.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there's gonna be 4 more eventually later this month. Eden Zero is gonna come out on Netflix, and I love Hiro Mashima's work, so obviously I'm gonna watch that. And there's like Netflix, not Netflix, Crunchyroll original about pirates that's going to come out soon, and I'm going to want to watch that. And then there's like Sunny Boy that I still want to watch, and so there's still so many. There's just a lot.
How you do it, man?
I got time. I got good time management skills. I just get in there, watch a couple, work. It's the reward system. You gamify your life, right? You do a thing, then you watch an anime episode. You do a thing, you watch an anime episode. You know what I'm saying?
Treat yourself.
Do your thing. You can't just front load everything and wait till the end, but you also can't work yourself to the bone. You got to have balance. You got to have balance with life, money, finance, anime. It's all there.
By the way, Damien's selling a masterclass. You can see the link below.
It's originally $1,000, but for $497, half off, you will receive my masterclass on how to manage time and be more in tune with your original self.
You heard it here first, folks.
Go to my sketchy drop shipping website where I'll drop ship you the course, and you will have access to all means of the course with all. Just kidding. Fuck it. God, that's it.
That's it. All right. Yeah,
we did it. 37. Thanks again for attending our club meeting today. Number 37, Nick. That's kind of crazy. We're here to discuss all things anime and sometimes manga related. We're your after school podcast with 2 wannabe weebs detailing the season's newest shows and analysis of some old favorites. Nick, they can find us at akiculture.club or at Aki Culture Club on social media. I think that's it.
There's only one way to end these.
Peace out, y'all.
See ya.